In this video, we're going to talk about the correct way to write checks and then record that information in your check register. So this is a common looking check. I've got to put the date down. You have to use the correct date. If you date your check too far in advance, the bank will not cash it if it's past that date. So today is February 17th when I'm making this video. If I dated this February 19th, they would not cash it. If I put it was February 17th of 2019, they may not cash it because then it's old and it's considered a stale check. Paid to the order of simply says who has the legal rights to the money that I'm taking out of my account. So this, I'm going to write it to Nemaha Central High School right now. So I try to write as neatly as I can. Nemaha Central High School, and I'm going to write the amount. When I write the amount, write it close to the dollar sign, and I raise the cents up so that it's easy to tell the difference between the dollars and the cents. Now, I write the amount in numbers here. The second line is where I write the amount in words. So I'm going to write out what I mean there. 50, and there's no cents, so I'm going to put no over 100. You could put 0 over 100, but you don't want to just leave it blank. The bank needs to know how many cents this was supposed to be for. And then I draw a squiggly line to show that there's nothing to be added there. That takes care of it. On the for line, I write what this check was for. This was for my lunch account. I'm writing the school a check to put into my lunch account. That way, when I look back at this check later, I say, why did I write the school a check for $50? Well, then I can easily see, oh, it was for a lunch account. And then I need to sign it. Now, when you sign your checks, you sign it the same way you signed your signature card at the bank when you opened your account. Don't write it any differently than that. So there is a well-written check. Writing a check is only part of it. The next thing I have to do, I have to record that in my check register. Now, a check register looks like this, and it has number code column, the date, the transaction description, the amount of a payment, the amount of the deposit, and then the balance. Let's say I'm starting with a balance of $500. Now, I don't need to write the cents smaller here because we know that that cent's in that column. The number or the code. Here it tells me the different codes. I've got the check number, if I write a check, or I could have a DC for a debit card, ATM for cash withdrawal, T for a transfer if I'm going from my savings account to my checking account, or D for deposit. I always fill in the code column with something. This, I wrote check number 341. Now notice, this top line is my balance. So I'm not going to write anything on the top line except balance. So I wrote check 341. I wrote it on 2/17. Here I don't need to be as specific on the date. This check register, I am the only one that gets to see. So whether or not I have the year in there really doesn't matter. Who did I write the check for and why? I wrote the check to NCHS for lunch for $50. My new balance now is $450. I want the balance to be on the same line as the check itself. Let's say I went to the ATM and I got some cash out, so I would write ATM. Let's say I did that on the 18th, and I wanted cash for the game, and I wanted $20. So now my new balance is $430. If I were to make a deposit, I would write it in this column. The whole thing is you need to remember to always record every transaction into your check register. That way you always know exactly how much money you have in your account and you won't get an overdraft.